really about Firefox was that it's going to help you extend your Windows 10 and Windows 8 and Windows 7 life. People don't care. People do not care about end of life. They do not care if they're getting security patches. If you're running Windows 7 now, you do not care about any of this. If your browser is still working and displaying the web pages you want to see.
And I think that's a disservice. Continuing on the browser, letting it work in these out-of-date operating systems.
We disagree.
Is a disservice.
Then. That's okay. We need to talk about this then.
You should move on.
Okay. All right. Well, I love it. This is great. This is gonna be good.
Subsequent to that, this version, they dropped 32-bit Linux distributions. And yes, I know they're all but dried and withered up. They still exist, though.
Debian killed theirs.
But if you had old Debian, you can still get security patches for it. OpenSUSE Tumbleweed still exists in 32-bit form.
Mm-hmm.
They're still current. It's not like Windows 10 or Windows 8 or Windows 7. Those are not current. And yet we're supporting those, but not the operating systems that still might exist.
So that's the true death day of these old Windowses, is the ESR
Exactly.
support. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is, but you can keep using a Windows 7 until that day.
Oh, lull people into getting the vulnerability nonsense for some other reason.
But that's the thing. I just don't think people care. Lull or not.
I know they don't care until they're hacked.
Well, yeah. But then it'll be Microsoft's problem. Coming up in this episode, all the distro news, all the browser news, and a cosmic recap. Welcome to Linux User Space. I'm Leo.
And I'm Dan.
And Dan, we have so much distro news.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, we were sleeping on some of this news a little bit. We were originally going to talk about Fedora 43 in the first episode, but we punted, and it kind of ended up working out because now it's released.
Yeah,
congratulations.
And they actually did move. They moved the release a little bit, so it's probably good that we waited just a little bit. So that it actually did release. Yeah.
Yep. I have not rebased yet, though I suppose Bluefin probably has access, or there's builds of Bluefin now on 43, probably.
Well, I can tell you right now that on the Aurora install that I'm sitting in front of, I am on 43.
Wait. Aurora is KDE.
It is.
43. I'm thinking GNOME. What am I thinking? You said KDE, and my mind immediately went to GNOME.
Yep, no. Yeah. So I'm on the 43 version of Aurora essentially because I'm
very
using
cool
the latest image.
Cool. Well, you answered my question then. So I should just rebase. What is it? You just update.
You just update.
Yeah, and I should be good to go, right? Cool.
I would think so. Yeah.
What I won't get to see though is the new Anaconda Web UI. That is one of the things that that Fedora 43 came out with this time, which I won't complain too much about the loss of Anaconda.
Well, you got to try it first.
I know. I will. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's great. It's great. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, but with updating, we don't get to see that unless we do a fresh install. So
right, and I'm just lamenting the loss of the hub and spoke. Apparently its only fan. I really enjoyed.
There's a few people I think that are out there, but there's not many.
Yeah. Okay. Well, me and the other two people that enjoyed hub and spoke, we're good.
I don't know. I think they needed to move to a different technology. Regardless of what mechanism you use, whether that's hub and spoke or, linear type install, I think the underlying technologies kind of needed to change more than anything. And that just presented the opportunity to change it to work a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the hub and spoke model that they had, I think there was just little inconsistencies that made it more confusing, which makes it harder, right?
Right.
The next button, the done button's over here, the next button's over here, that kind of thing. Where do I go when I'm completed with this task? It should be the same, I feel like, on every page to get back to the center.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was my favorite thing about Anaconda, man. Like, you had to center yourself.
Yeah.
It was good.
Well, you had to look all over the map to find the right path, though. So
yeah,
that was the tricky part, right?
Yeah, I mean, consistency things aside, I think it's Microsoft, man. Like the Windows next has just permeated absolutely everything, and that is why I think I lament the most, because it lost a bit of its uniqueness, right? And it didn't have to be hard. There were things that could have been changed to make it better, but
perhaps.
Anyway, that's a conversation I've already had. But it's new now. It's more linear now with more linearness. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, I guess. It's fine.
We'll have to,
I'll be fine.
We'll have to really give it a shakedown at some point, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we did, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but we did with the Cosmic one. There were comments on YouTube that were like, you didn't do it fast enough. It was like,
sorry.
I'm taking my time with this one. But yeah, so also Fedora Core OS. Now, I may not fully understand this, but if I understand it the way that I think I understand it, then this is actually a pretty good thing, or at least from where I'm sitting. So Fedora Core OS is now buildable from a Fedora-based bootc image using a container file instead of needing to be compressed with a custom tool. So the way I read this, or the way that I understand this, is that this is going to allow you to create, or anybody that wants to tinker a bit, to create their own offshoots of CoreOS or Fedora, and create their own bluefins and create their own auroras and all of that other kind of fun stuff.
Probably smaller when you think about CoreOS, right?
Right.
More like server build type things, not necessarily GUI builds. Although you could probably do that. I mean, but it's the base. And so kind of lets you, specify the things you need and want in your container file, I suppose, and build that.
Is it more, okay, so Fedora CoreOS and defining it with a container file, this sounds a lot more like what Docker is than...
Well, the whole thing is sort of, I guess that's some of what George's point is it's a lot like building a Docker image. It's composable, right?
It's that word again. Yeah, there it is.
There you go, buddy. But that's some of the point, right? Is you basically you can compose it from that way, like you would a Docker image. Yeah. Think about even more like applications. Like that's kind of how snaps work. Is you have you have a YAML file that is your thing,
container file, essentially.
Yeah, essentially, and then it brings in those components to create your whole application.
Right, and then you're just given a little pile of here. There you go.
Yeah,
there's your thing.
Squash,
all
of
your
Squash file system.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Okay. That's pretty cool. So
I guess it's like that. Yeah.
So I guess maybe we could kind of even compare it to LXC a little, maybe?
Probably.
In that,
yeah. I mean, in that same regard, right? Yeah.
But what would be cool about LXC are there container files for LXC, like to make the container reproducible? Because I'm still a little baby bird.
So could you take those and then make your own? Probably there's a way to squash that up and do it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, to make them distributable, like more like a Docker than...
Well, there's a bunch of them out there, just about every distro. I mean, that's probably what they use to make them. So someone's doing that.
Okay. All right. So
you can get Alma Linux and you can get CentOS and, Debian. All of those are available in an LXC.
Yeah, because I think one of the turnkey Linux... I think the turnkey Linux folks have a bunch of different kinds of containers or whatever. So how do I make one like that? How do I get LXC, install an application on it, and then give it to someone and say, here's the application, and then here's kind of like a quick onboarding. You have to answer these questions, blink, blink, blink. And then now you have a running, I don't know, Nextcloud or Plex or something, right? Like, I think that would be really cool. And then even, build in the automation to keep it up to date would be also pretty cool. Is that a thing? Can you do
how
that?
much time you got?
Well, right. Not all of it. I have some of it. But I don't know. Like, it just seems like that's kind of where everything is moving, right? Like, everything seems to be moving in such a way that, the base of the thing is just going to be what it is.
Yeah.
And then there's really not a lot of customization you do to it. It's just here's your thing. Here's your fully working, fully configured, fully ready, answer a couple of questions, and you're golden for the rest of eternity. Just keep poking it. Like, you can even automate that. Poke it every now and then then you're good. Like, it seems like that's where everything is moving. And because Bluefin is that way. You just update. And then I don't think about nothing. I do one thing. Yeah. And so, it's still really cool that it's on my schedule, right? Like, I type in you just update. But the fact that it handles everything. All of my brew updates, all of my Flatpak updates, all of my, pulls in the new container files that I need to be able to expand, and that's what I boot into. Like, that is really, really cool. This is what Linux has needed for a long time. For people that don't care, because there are plenty of people that just do not care how it's put together as long as it works.
As long as it keeps working, why do you care?
Right. Well, because tinkerers, right? They will always care.
Well, you do that when it doesn't work.
Oh, well, not these people.
Yeah, maybe not. But I guess that's how you learn. There is that value.
Yeah. There was a Gentoo comment talking about how Gentoo wasn't customizable enough. Yeah, and I was like, oh, interesting take.
Really?
All right, cool. I'll give you that. But yeah, I'm on the opposite side, man. Like, I don't need that deep, dark level customization. I have DistroBox if I need to do anything weird.
Right.
So yeah, just it works. It's great.
I guess that's
awesome.
always an option too, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it is in itself containers. So it's again, all of my solutions, all of the things that are making everything amazing for me or whatever is all container crap. And it's great. It's absolutely great because I don't think about it. Yes, I get to do whatever it is I want to do, and I don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. One thing that you're going to have to think about, though, is maybe someday in the future, one of your Fedora Atomics is going to run out of boot space. With the release of 43 on the Atomics, the installation will now create a 2 gig boot partition as opposed to, Dan, you said yours was 1. I think I checked over here. Yeah. I think mine is 1 as well. Whatever the default was before this, I think
2016 is what I found in my research that was the last time this was changed. So, and it was changed to 1 gig at that point. So pretty much everybody after that's got a 1 gig. Before that, it was 500 meg. I
remember that. I do remember that. And we still running like when I do older Ubuntu servers or whatever, and you don't clean out your kernels, you can run into a situation where you run out of boot space, and it's like you can't boot this now, and then it's not very apparent, but you go back to an earlier kernel and it works just fine. But and
you probably don't notice it as much on like server things, but like desktop Linux, you've got some add-ons in the Linux firmware there that are pretty pertinent for your system in order to make it work. And that's really where the big space grow happens, is the Linux firmware stuff, because the kernel itself is actually kind of small still.
Right. And so I guess that means that like NVIDIA people, is that right? It would have to be early.
That's probably the biggest thing, but you got things like wireless drivers and different Bluetooth things, and I don't even know what else in there, to be completely honest with you, but just think drivers in general, and they add, there's more added all the time, and the more they add, the bigger it gets. Yeah,
I guess so, right? New hardware comes out all the time. There's 2.5 gigabit this and that network cards, and Wi-Fi 7 is coming, so we'll need new drivers for that. So yeah, like all kinds of Linux doesn't support Wi-Fi 7 yet, does it?
I don't know, but like you think that some of them are like binary, right? They're just binary blobs getting dropped in there, and others are so that's big. it's not just text at that point.
Yeah. So, okay, now I'm curious. I don't know this for a fact, but I would assume the NVIDIA driver lives in there, right? It would have to.
So
No,
it depends
well, no,
on
I
the
guess it doesn't have
distro,
to.
because sometimes there are DKMS modules that get shoved in there. Where does it go? Does it go in boot? It might go in boot. I don't really know. It's been so long since I've had NVIDIA. I think it does boot, because if you have secure boot, you have to basically do mock-utils to get the thing to go. So yeah, it's gonna live in boot. Some of it.
Interesting.
Anyway.
And I'm in the same boat with you. Like I've actually avoid NVIDIA hardware for exactly this reason. I don't want to have to think about none of that.
Right.
That seems like so much of a hassle just to be able to, reinstall something. But I have to imagine that's probably part of why they increased the boot partition size.
Yeah,
There's
because those things grow. Yeah.
Yeah. And those drivers, I mean, surely they're removing older versions of the hardware that they're no longer wanting to support or whatever. But
they
new
probably
stuff,
go a couple of versions back. I mean, they're probably supporting multiple versions.
Right, but the new stuff is all the old stuff plus everything new too. So
sometimes,
it's not like those drivers are getting smaller over time. I think
no, they're definitely getting bigger. That's a for sure thing. Yeah.
Right. So what I guess what I'm getting at with all of this is that there's going to come a day, and because I don't run NVIDIA, I might be able to stretch it out longer than some. But there's going to come a day where my boot partition is just too small to support just update, and I'm going to not be able to boot one day. It's going to not update for me, and it's going to say, and I'm going to be confused for a while until I remember, I remember they increased the boot partition size, maybe.
Yeah, but it doesn't apply to you, Leo, because, you're upgrading, so you would have to do a new install, right?
Right.
It's basically the path for you if you already have an install. Unless you want to get really hairy and do your own ninja magic with partitioning.
Well, see, you're talking to the wrong guy for this one, because I think I have my most important files backed up. So I would absolutely, before I nuke and paved, right? If I could I think I would. I think I would try. There's all kinds of tooling or whatever. I just take an image to start, and then I can always roll back to the exact state that it was, and then I'll just play with it. If I can get by using something what is the one? It's the penguin with the superhero orange and the cape. Rescuezilla. If I can get by, yeah. If I can get by using one of those and just opening up some space in boot and sliding everything over just a little bit, it might take a while because a lot of that stuff is going to have to be rewritten. But let me tell you something. Dan. One of the things that you run into with SSDs in general is that as data sits there, there's parity data that lives on those disks, right? And sometimes your operating system and the disk, the controller on the disk has to go to that parity data. And whenever you go to that parity data, everything takes a little bit longer. And the reason you would go to that parity data is that the information on that disk has been sitting there so long that there has been drift. Like bit drift, electrical drift.
Right. Yep.
And that means that data may not be readable anymore. You know what one of the coolest benefits of rewriting all of that data is? There's no drift.
Not anymore. No, it's fresh.
So I might be doing myself a favor here. If the day comes where boot is too small, I'll have to increase the size of boot by 1 gig. Probably, I would just do 5. Honestly, I never want to have to run into it again. I'll do 5 gigs.
It's not that much. Who cares?
And then, exactly. On a 1 terabyte disk, I don't care. So, and then it would move all of that data over by 4 gigs, forcing an entire rewrite of everything, at the very least, in the first 4 gigs of that disk, right? Of like the first data that was written on there. And that means that I'm not going to have any drift. I will likely see a performance increase by doing a boot slide. Ooh, maybe that's what I'll call it. The boot slide. Maybe we'll have a video. Yeah, in like 6 years, we'll have a video.
The boot slide and Boogie.
That's it. And then you're going to end up with a faster, how to increase your system speed by 200%.
Yeah. Use this one trick.
Yeah, back up your data first, folks.
I mean, I don't know. I wonder how long that'll take you to faff around with that, and the rest of us will be just over here, just nuke and pave, just start over again.
No, I want
Which
to make
also
it more
rewrites all of your data,
complicated.
by the way.
Yeah. Well, sure. Fine. Whatever. But mine's cooler. Mine's cooler because I live on the edge. I could lose all of my data here.
I could too. There's nothing like a format to lose your stuff.
No, see, if you're nuking and paving, you're preparing, man. Like I might have an image. I might
like
not.
to
I
be
might
prepared.
I might just say, you know what? I trust my skills. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens.
You're the YOLO sysadmin.
I am kind of a YOLO guy when it comes to stuff like that, man. Like I trust my Linux. I said Linux has been too safe for too long. This is going to be how
you'll prove
how
it
I get
wrong somehow.
Yeah, that's right. Linux is that'll be the blog post, the companion blog post. Linux is unsafe. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
So one last thing on the 43 atomic thing was that they're removing my plocate.
Yeah,
from all
that's
images.
Crazy to me a little bit, kind of.
Please put this back. This is my plea to you,
I bet
Fedora
you could
Council people. Not in an atomic. That would have to require a layer, or I would have to create my own.
That's an option.
No, I'm not layering plocate back on there. I'm just going to install Albert and let it handle stuff for me.
Yeah.
As long as okay, the reason that I don't want plocate to go away is because it's really handy to be able to find a file if you know its name, right? There's not really any fuzzy matching or anything going on here, but if you know a file's name, then you can search the entire operating system for it. Now, the argument here in the atomic is that, well, 90% of the system doesn't need to be searchable because it's immutable and you can't change it anyway, so why are you looking in here anyway? But the 10%, well, okay, depending on your
I got a home folder
size,
someplace, right? Yeah.
The vast majority of the user files need to be searchable. And maybe I'm just old school. Is it just me being old school that I use a command line search utility that doesn't do fuzzy search to find files? Maybe it is. Maybe I need to let it go.
I've certainly used it before. I mean, I've no question on that. I guess I have a file manager. I could probably open that up and do that there, maybe.
Is that the answer? This
know.
might be the answer.
I really, you're right. I just don't use that very much. I go to the command line. I go to the place. I do the thing. I don't really open up a file manager, generally speaking, unless I'm doing a bunch of dragging and dropping to maybe removable media or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Are we doing it again? Are we old man?
Are we old?
Fist at cloud again?
I think we might be. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Gray beard comes honestly. I'm sorry.
It's natural. What can I say? So, okay.
It's not colored.
Maybe I need to move on from this.
Yeah.
But it's sad, though. I mean, it's such an end of an era, I guess. Well, I mean, you can install it in regular Fedoras and every other operating system in existence or whatever. But if you're immutable, they're barriers.
You could layer it.
Right. You could. I don't want to. I'm embracing the immutable life. So what I don't want is for things to be taken out of the image. No, don't do that. But
is there a Flatpak option here?
So that's what I need to do. What I need to do is I need to just let myself
you know what it is?
flow
You know what we
into...
do is probably a homebrew thing.
Oh, shut up. That's right. You're right. That's a good point. Maybe. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you're right. This might be the answer.
Yeah.
As long as plocate can read. I just wanted to read my home folders. I don't need it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not searching for stuff in varlib. I don't care.
No.
But in my home folder for sure, I want to be able to. But Albert and other tools do good at fuzzy matching, though. So, so I'm okay. I'm of two minds. If Homebrew will let me do it, I think I'll probably will just keep kicking that can down the road. But if it won't, then maybe I just need to get on with.
Yeah, you got Albert. I got Krunner. That'll work.
Yeah, right. And so does the GNOME? Okay, so I'll have to test the GNOME search to see if it's any good at this.
Probably not.
I don't think it is though. This is part of why I'm just not happy with this change. It's once there's an equivalent to at least plocate in GNOME, I'll be happy. But it doesn't find my files ever really. So
not well, no.
So more Fedora. We talked about this a while ago.
Should we give people a warning here?
Yeah, AI warning, be careful. None of this show is created with AI, but we're going to talk about AI. So,
Sorry.
yeah.
Skip ahead if you don't like this part.
Click. But you might want to actually hear at least the first part. Fedora is, in some ways, embracing AI, as in AI-assisted contributions to the project. And this is solidified with a new policy that is a living policy that can change, that can be made better, surely, for sure.
But it also creates boundaries.
Right. And I think that's important to do, right? Because Dan and I were talking before the show, and one of the things that's going to absolutely 1,000% happen is if you do not have a policy around AI, people are going to use it anyway. And then if your policy is just no AI, they're going to lie to you and submit it anyway. Mm-hmm. You hope they would review that, but that's what this policy is for, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And the most important part about this is the accountability part. So they have 3 big sections in here: accountability, transparency, and it's a 2-word one, but contribution and community evaluation. So accountability, transparency, evaluation. Those are the 3 big things that you're going to take away from this. So accountability. You must take the responsibility for your contribution, right? So you can't just let AI...
you can't just toss it over the fence and say, there you go. Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't know where that came from.
From the curl project, because Daniel Stenberg was very upset about all the AI slop ending up in curl.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is an attempt to crack the gate open, right? And say, okay, sure, you can use AI, but you need to take responsibility for it, meaning it's still your baby.
Yep,
if it is trash, it is your responsibility to fix it, not the project's responsibility to merge it and fix it later or something like that. Right. So it's a huge point, right? Transparency is one of the others, and you must disclose the use of AI tools when a significant part of the contribution is taken from a tool without changes. So what it's not saying here is that you always need to mark that you've used AI. They are not saying that, because it sounds like if you use AI to generate some code and then you make some substantive, and I don't know that significant is defined. Like if you have 5 lines of code, how much would you need to change for it to be a significant change to that code?
Did AI write the whole function, or did AI just give you some examples, or where did you go with that? Right.
I renamed the function, Dan.
What do you want me to do? Copy paste it, or did you actually just get some inspiration from it? Because gaining inspiration is not unheard of. People they used to go to Stack Overflow and
copy
get
paste.
Yeah, but they used to get other people used to just get ideas to base their
the good programmers,
right? Well, and we're going to
everybody else copied and pasted, man.
We're going to see the same thing with AI, right?
Yes.
You're going to get the bad stuff and you're going to get the good stuff. I think if you're doing it right, you kind of got some, it cleared the mental block you had, and it got you on a path to fixing it, with your own brain power, not necessarily just copy pasted it.
Right. So I think that's right. Significant part, meaning you've changed it quite a bit.
That probably needs more definition, if you will.
Yeah, I think so, right? Because, if I created a function and I changed the name of the function, good enough. That's substantive. That's significant.
That's
sure.
Different.
No. I don't know. Because unless you define it, I think people are gonna submit anyway. Just to their own benefit, they're gonna submit.
Right.
And it's a lot like no AI. So I'm just not gonna tell you that I used AI and just say that it wasn't AI. Therefore, you're gonna accept the change, right? As long as it works, it's good. And if you complain, well then back to the drawing board. We'll figure it out. Right. I'll get AI to generate a couple more and see if any of those get passed.
Yeah.
So a human's gonna human. So the other is evaluation. AI tools may be used to assist human reviewers by providing analysis and suggestions. So we can make the contribution, using AI assistance, and then we can also evaluate the contribution using AI assistance. Okay, but it goes on to say, you must not use the AI as the sole or final arbiter in making a substantive or subjective judgment on a contribution, nor may it be used to evaluate a person's standing within the community for funding, leadership roles, code of conduct matters, right? So
yeah, that tells me that you need a human reviewer.
Right. The buck stops with a human.
Mhm.
You can't just let AI do it all.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay with having the human reviewer be the final say. I mean, I think that's necessary.
Yeah, I think so. When you remove the human out of the equation, I think you're going to end up with soup. Not very good tasting soup either. It will look like soup. It will not taste like soup. So,
but if it's kind of evaluating things and giving a human suggestions, that's probably not the end of the world either. I guess it might speed things up. Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, if the AI, and I just, in my mind, it can't get it right every time.
Oh, probably not. No, that's why we need to step in and say, well, what you did here is wrong, buddy. I'm sorry. Thanks for your help, but you wasted my time on that one.
The unfortunate fact is that humans are going to human, and the temptation will exist to just allow it.
To just cheat.
It's been pretty good today, so why would I question it on this one? Just click, merge. Good. We're good. And that's...
It could depend on how well defined, how narrow the scope is, how well defined the model is, and that sort of thing, potentially, I suppose.
That's a very important thing to note, right? I mean, because I don't know that we're going to be using always the best models to generate or to merge these things, right? Like, are we always using 3 models to check the other models and all this other stuff? I don't know.
Yeah. Keeping the scope narrow is important. Yeah.
Yeah. Cautiously optimistic, man. Optimistic.
That's pretty fair.
These tools are going to be used whether or not there's a policy. I'm just glad there's a policy.
It does establish boundaries. Yeah.
Right. Because Aoife Maloney says, a final note. The Fedora Council fully expects this policy to need to be updated over time to stay current with AI technology.
100%. Yeah. Nothing should be static.
Right. And I think, these documents are always living, but I do hope that we really are actually reviewing the stuff, right? That the AI spits out, whatever it is.
Yep.
Losing the human in it, allowing the AI to just kind of be autonomous, is always a recipe for disaster. I don't know that it ever won't be. At least from where I'm sitting, what I can see, the tools that I've been able to play with or whatever, we're far away from being able to let it do anything. So,
not independently. It is not a human replacement.
Right. We'll see. All right, so last couple of quick things. If you were trying to download Ubuntu lately, hopefully you didn't get a zip, because that's what was being served up over on the Ubuntu website.
Very, very unfortunate news. Their WordPress instance took a hit, and someone replaced the download. Basically, that when you click on it, at least for the torrent.
Yeah.
You kind of got served up some malware stuff. And it really only affected Windows users, but given that a lot of refugees are looking to flee Windows right now, the timing wasn't good.
Yeah, and I don't imagine there's a whole lot of Windows refugees looking for the minimal system, but I just...
Maybe.
You never know what you're going to click, right? And so it was the Ubuntu Minimal for 64-bit systems link on the ubuntu.org/download page for a while. It's not like that anymore.
It's not there anymore, no. Yeah.
But when you clicked it, it was ubuntu-safe-download.zip. And to anybody that has been steeped in Linux for a month or more, you would know that doesn't look right? But we're kind of in the midst of a bit of a sea change as far as desktops go, and Linux is under the spotlight right now, because you have Linus Tech Tips, you had PewDiePie, now you have Gamers Nexus as well, doing a lot of testing on Linux and things. So I mean, Linux is really getting a lot of eyeballs right now, and I can't imagine Ubuntu is really one of those ones that is just super out there right now. But
it's probably not the end of the world, though. I mean, you think about it, you're on Windows 10, you're kind of probably already on a bit of a dated system. And so then you're looking to go for something that's a little more minimal, lightweight.
Yeah, well, maybe so.
So that might be why you clicked on that Ubuntu minimal thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's plausible.
So when you click on a torrent download, don't expect
make sure you get a
zip.
torrent.
So it should be a torrent file. But anyway, it's been fixed. Sean Davis said, we've since taken down the download page and we'll be expediting our static site development to replace our aging WordPress instance, which is that's how this thing.
That's excellent.
WordPress got knocked over and they happened to be on WordPress. So, and then Elizabeth K. Joseph also mentioned, we're beholden to our hosting environments for upgrades, and it looks like there was a bit of a slip up here. It's being worked on. So when I was running a WordPress instance and letting someone manage it for me, that it was like that, where WordPress got updated when the company felt like upgrading WordPress, and you were running a version of WordPress that may or may not actually have support. The company that you were purchasing this from supported WordPress, but it was not, in my case, was not a supported WordPress version. I had asked about it a couple times, and they were just like, nope, nothing you need to do. And I'm like, that's safe? And they're like, yes, it's safe.
No.
Right. I wonder if they were on the same provider I was.
Well, maybe.
It was a scary...
It does happen. Yeah,
it was a scary old version. And so that was actually part of the reason why I'd converted the website over to just a static site. I mean, I don't need weird little PHP. Personal homepage is what that stands for. I don't need any of that junk running on a website that just hosts static info. So
right.
Yeah, no need. So I changed it. It took a while, but I got it done. Anyway, last thing, Ubuntu Unity. Oh no! So the main developers of Ubuntu Unity, if I'm not mistaken, are busy.
Yeah, the main members anyway, leaders. Yeah. So what this is, like, Rudra is actually probably the flavor lead here. Is very busy. He's at college and got a busy life. I mean, this young man is doing well with that, but it takes him away from the duties of being flavor lead at Unity, and obviously lead developer there too. So they're asking for some help, if you will. And the other members, they're good members. They're doing great work. They're just not the technical developers that they need. So they need some help fixing some technical things. And in this post that's on Discourse, I think one of the other Ubuntu developers kind of lays out some of the things that need to be fixed, and some of the at least a priority list, if you will, as far as what needs to be addressed. And there's some easy bugs that might be able to be fixed by people, just to kind of get your feet underneath you. Regardless, though, if you have any technical development skills and you have time to be able to contribute to something like this, they're asking for help. And I think it's probably one of the most responsible things you can do, because, it's sort of in advance. They'll help you out, right, with all of the info they have, and get you connected to the right people. So that really says a lot about, handling this with grace. If you can, give them a hand. I'll have the link in the show notes here.
Cool. Take a look at that. It's the least we can do. We'll lend our voice to maybe getting some help
Absolutely.
over there. That'd be pretty cool.
And if you like seeing our faces, you can catch them on both YouTube and Tilvids. So Leo's done a big thing here with Tilvids and kind of taken the segments that we were releasing on YouTube and putting some of those on Tilvids now. So you can catch those over there. You know, the no extra fluff versions, if you will, just the bits, right out there.
Bits.
Just the bits right there. And so you can catch the short segments that way, which is really neat. And we really want to thank Tilvids for being a great sponsor, if you will, of the show and allowing us to post our content over there. Tilvids is for edutainment, in case you didn't know. And it's a PeerTube instance that is
That's
federated.
right. And I feel like, I mean, a lot of the topics that we talk about are informational.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you learn something from them or not, I guess, is debatable. But
at
because we're
tangentially
informing,
news, I guess, if you will, right?
Yeah. I mean, some of this stuff is a little old, but my excuse for that is that we didn't have a true episode in the cycle of last episode. It was the B-side, right, where we did the whole cosmic exploration. Yep. So yeah, we're kind of we kind of have a little bit of extra. Yeah, we're catching up.
And so it's great. I think because it's federated, you can follow along in places like Mastodon. And when you interact in Mastodon, it shows back up in Tilvids. It's kind of a neat system. Decentralized federation is pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are actually following any of the accounts at all, because I swear there's 3 numbers. Mm-hmm. Like if you go find the account on Mastodon, we have 1 number. And then if you go find the account on Tilvids, it's a different, bigger number. And then there's also, and then there's a third thing. This is not a confusing thing. There's the channel itself. Mm-hmm. So there's the account.
Has subscribers, yeah.
And then there's the channel that has the subscribers as well. And
yeah. I guess if we had other channels, I don't know.
Right. I don't know. Well, sure. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, it works.
I did not think about that.
When you comment there, it does show back up on the Tilvids page, and that's kind of neat, I think.
And you can see those on Mastodon if you're following that account. So
if you follow over there, yeah. Mm-hmm. So good stuff. But ultimately, if you really, really, really love us and the show, you can go over onto Patreon and you can become a member there. So Patreon is kind of cool now because you can join for free, or you can donate some money and you'll get perks. It doesn't matter the level you join at, you will get some perks. All the way up to, having a high quality audio recording and video of all the show, including the not show before the show.
The hour and 20 minutes. It was an hour and 20 minutes before we got into the show. So we talked about all kinds of stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a whole entire separate show.
Pretty much. Probably not related to Linux or open source things, but
some of it.
Just some of it might have been. That's fine.
It can be anything. It can be anything up there. It's just a stream of thoughts as we're cobbling together what we lovingly call the show.
Right. But if you're just a community member and down on the very free tier of Patreon, you'll get the episode like 3 hours early.
That's right.
Which is kind of neat. I mean, so everybody's getting a perk here. And we love you, everybody that loves us. So that's why we give you perks.
So Browser Watch, it's time. Again, we've missed a bit. So last episode was that B-side. So that means that we get to catch up a little bit. And a few things have happened since about a month, I guess. So Firefox 144 is out. Hooray. And this was the thing we talked about, I think, before we ended the last season. We were projecting far, far into the future and said, Firefox is going to have a new profile manager. Now, I did not know that this was not a thing. So profiles have existed in Firefox for quite a long time.
Right.
But a profile manager has not.
Yeah, we hinted that it was coming, but it hadn't been released yet.
Right. And I was under the impression that it was profiles.
Right.
But no. So
yeah,
the profile, the thing that manages the profiles that allows you to move from one profile to another, so you can have a work profile and a home profile and a games profile and a whatever profile and a shopping profile, whatever. You can have all of that, right? And now there's a manager to handle all of that.
Right,
but if you were technical enough and wanted to play around in about::config enough, you could have had access to this. I didn't. This is the part that I didn't know. So
yeah.
That's really cool.
Who's got time for that?
I mean, at least one person that told me about
probably.
it.
Yeah, probably.
But it's hard for me to want to dive into it because I've gotten so used to multi-account containers, right? Like I already do the profile life,
kind of, yeah.
But I have it all in one window, and that works quite well for me, right? Like because
it works pretty good for me too.
Yeah, because multi-account containers allows me to log into, like, say, Gmail or whatever. I can log in with one profile. I can log in with one account and then open up a new profile, or a container, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
I could go into the other container, log into a different account, and have them both side by side, two separate accounts, and that works very well. But that's also kind of what the profile will allow you to do. Have a work profile so you can log into your work email, but not have to log out of that. You just move to your home profile and be in your personal email, right?
Right.
So it is something really, really cool.
It's handy.
I don't know that I'll be diving into it, but I imagine Vivaldi's had this feature for quite a while, and I know a lot of people that love that feature. So if you just don't want to do the multi-account container thing, I mean, profiles exist now, so we're good.
Yep.
But one of the interesting things that has surfaced since we've been talking about Windows 10 dying since last year, like early last year, we did an early episode of, hey, in a year, everything is going to come crashing down. What are you going to do? And it turns out, right, that there's a vast majority of people that don't care. Don't care.
Well, sure.
And
that's the sad part.
Yeah, well, Firefox, for better or for worse, and I think Chrome has an extended release as well, so they're kind of doing the same thing. But it's not really the operating system that is the indicator of what is going to move someone on, right? Like, there's a lot of fervor about it. A lot of people telling you that Windows is just going to, and you get the vibe that Windows is going to stop working, but it won't. Windows 10 will just keep chugging along, not getting updates for forever. But the thing that I think is going to surprise people is that eventually your browser will stop working. That, I think, might actually be the true death day of a given Windows.
I mean, let's be real. That's the thing most people use on a regular. There's a lot of other applications that they may use on an occasion, but the browser is the one you use like all the time. I mean, just pretty much everything's done in a browser these days. So the other applications ending probably aren't the end of the world for them. Although I know some have been announced that they just won't continue. Example is TurboTax, if you're into that one. Yeah. They've actually said that you can't use like that. If you're using that for your taxes this year, you better be on Windows 11 because it just won't work. It's not happening.
Right, right. And I can see that. But things like Photoshop 7 didn't stop working. So
right. Yeah, no, some things probably won't. Absolutely.
Right. So if you can get along with that particular version of Photoshop or whatever, it's going to run into perpetuity on, heck, even Windows XP. But I guess the point is that Firefox will not stop supporting, with the ESR branch, not stop supporting Windows 10 for an indefinite amount of time. And I say that because ESR still works on Windows 7. So it is still being...
I don't know how I feel about this. Actually, I do know how I feel about this.
Yeah, and I think we agree a lot, and I think we disagree on this one.
Yeah, I feel not good about this. I feel like we need to get people to move on, and then if that's the thing that's going to be forcing them to get, on a supported release of operating system, so be it. Let's help out a little bit. I mean, I don't like the idea that people have to probably spend money to move on. That's a little unfortunate, but nothing lasts forever. And what happens when the operating system itself has vulnerabilities that aren't getting patched? I mean, all it takes is one of those to be a really bad day for people, I guess.
Yeah, and I think people don't think about it, right? Like, I think the people...
It'll, like you said, it'll continue to work in perpetuity until something bad happens.
Yeah.
Do you want to wait for something bad to happen? I know I don't.
Right. So I'm sure there are two camps, right? There are people that are running Windows 7 that are like, well, I can handle this. And so about the security patches thing, I forget the name of the company, but it's like Zero something or other, that are actually still minting patches, security patches for Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 10. So 10 now, they're starting to now. But
in 10, if you play the game, you can get free support for another year, right? So you can kick the can down further.
That's a whole other thing. Like,
right.
The patches are there. Microsoft is making the patches, but is going to withhold the patches from some people because you didn't jump through hoops. That is trash.
That is trash. You're right.
That is a very bad move. I cannot believe that Microsoft would make the patch and just not give it to you.
Well, I can, because they want money. I mean, I like money.
Well, of course. But, like, the EU doesn't let that happen. Folks in the EU can just have the patches. Right. But because, we are not in the EU, so everybody on Windows 10 in the US either had to jump through hoops or will just not get the patch. That's bad. That's just bad. There's nothing you could say to change my mind. If the patch exists, give it to people. I mean, you're giving it to most everybody for free. Give it to the rest of everybody for free, too. No hoops required.
Or just don't give it to anybody for free. And charge everybody. I mean, that's the alternative.
Yeah, sure.
You can still make it, but you're charging them, so you're getting, your time, your labor money back, right?
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, which is the important part, I suppose.
I can get behind that. Just be consistent, right? Is the thing. But I'm of the opinion that, I mean, if you're gonna write it, just give it. Just give it. This is people's data, people's lives that you're talking about, man. I mean, their entire everything is on a computer a lot of times. So withholding it for whatever reason is silly. But anyway, so there are alternative ways to get your updates, and so the security-minded people that are still running on an old operating system are probably doing that. But then there's also that contingent of people that just don't care. Whatever. Yep, it works. It turns on.
Until it stops, I will not move.
Right, and so they're going to be running on Firefox ESR or some other browser that has an extended release cycle for until it stops. So I don't know. You bought it. You bought the hardware. You bought the operating system. Windows. I mean,
but I bought it 10 years ago.
But it still works.
But it was 10 years ago. Well, how much time did you think you were getting out of that?
Well, I don't know. I think people. I think someone that doesn't necessarily think about the hardware that they buy or whatever, they buy something and they expect it to work until it breaks. Mm-hmm. And until it breaks, they're going to keep using it. I think there's a lot of people like that, right? I mean, I buy tools this way.
And yes, I don't know that I subscribe to that, but I get you. I know there are people that do. Yeah.
So, and I guess Firefox is just kind of enabling that, right? Where
that's it. That's the word right there. You right. You found the trigger.
That's it. I mean, it is enabling people to do something that might be ambiguous in a security context, right? I mean, that's not quite ambiguous. We know what's going to happen, but I mean,
it happened with XP.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Well, it happened before XP was even dropped in support. Remember the whole firewall thing where people were like connecting up XP directly to the internet and then getting their Windows shares messed up.
Yeah.
And it took until Service Pack 2 to change it.
That's
that
what
was
I'm saying.
years, dude. So,
People forgot
even
about
Windows
that,
being
though.
in support kind of sucks.
Yeah, they do, but I mean, like, people forgot about that, right?
I guess so, right? And people will forget that you can use Firefox ESR on Windows 7, I guess. It all goes into the garbage bin of the back of the mind, man.
I know. It's
don't think
crazy
about
to
it.
me.
Just don't think about it.
Well, I'll try not to.
But I think I think it's kind of a cool thing for Firefox to do, though. I mean, in a very, it's your hardware, it's your operating system. Just use it and run it to the ground. Whatever. Here's a browser that will allow you to be on the internet while that happens. I do think that is kind of a cool thing to do. I do take your point, though, that using the operating system when it's not getting patches is just a very dangerous thing to do. In Firefox, having a browser that allows you to do so encourages you to continue to be unsafe, and that's not a good thing to be in.
Just switch
but
to Linux, and then you can have a supported operating system.
I think that's the right choice.
If you want to keep your hardware, right?
Right. Exactly right. Well, I can't run the new Windows. Fine. Then run Linux. It's going to hurt a little bit.
You're going to have some learning, but that's okay.
But you're going to save $600 on the back end buying a crappy laptop that can barely run Windows 11 anyway. So I think you're going to be better off.
100%.
Prepay with a little pain. Yeah. And you'll be much, much better off. But a browser that doesn't support Windows 7, that is, and I guess I can't even really say browser, right? Because we're not talking about a browser. We're talking about a browsing engine. Yeah. Much like WebKit and Chromium, which is a browser, but also an engine, but also a browser. And did I say WebKit? Oh, and Gecko. Firefox's Gecko.
Gecko, yeah.
There's a new person thing, browser, engine in the mix, Servo. So this is something that's been around for quite a while, and it turns out
for a while, yeah.
Not only was it brewing for a while, Servo was originally created by the Firefox people, the Mozilla people, written in Rust.
Yeah.
This was gotten rid of at the time that Mozilla was getting rid of all their Rust and Rust people.
But because Rust kind of was begat from Mozilla, right? Essentially, yeah.
All the good stuff comes from Netscape lineage, man. JavaScript, whatever you think about it, it has swept the entirety of the world. JavaScript runs absolutely everything. It is not good that is the case, but it is. So all the good technologies, everything is from Netscape or Mozilla. And
it seems like,
And Servo was another one of those things that it's shaping up to be a really interesting, if nothing else, browsing engine. We'll never see it in Firefox, which is kind of sad, as it was originally intended.
That was where it was intended to go, but it's not happening.
But we're gonna see it somewhere,
which is cool.
I am interested in wherever Servo goes. Maybe Servo is just they're gonna grab a new arm of people that do the browser actual development on top of that, and we'll have this really cool Servo group and whatnot. But it is really cool to see that the adage that I believed in my brain, and I do actually still think this is true, that you can't make browsing engines anymore. Servo as a browser engine was created under the umbrella of Mozilla, people that already knew how to do this, had institutional knowledge and the skill and the people to do it, engineers, right? Yeah. So, regular people, I don't know. There's also Ladybug or something that is an attempt. Ladybird. That's what it is.
Okay.
It sounds like someone had like a really old hound dog. Isn't that Hank Hill? It's King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Dogs. Their dog's name was Ladybird.
Was it?
I wonder if, but their logo is a ladybug.
I'm off to Google now.
Or something. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. But
I'm not sure.
The dog's name is Ladybird, and this browser engine's name is Ladybird. So
Ladybird, yeah.
Anyway, so we'll see where that one goes as well. But again, I still maintain that you're stuck. You're stuck. You're a WebKit, you're a Gecko, or you're a Chromium, and that's really kind of it. So I'm hoping Servo can be more than that, can add a fourth option, or just usurp one of the others.
Get rid of the monoculture type trend that we're going on, right?
Ugh, everything is Chromium. Everything is Chromium. Don't worry, we're about to get to more Chromium too.
Yeah.
So Servo is really cool. It's interesting, but onto the Chromium thing. Sad, I guess. End of an era. the Chromium's Chrome itself is going to now insert itself between you and HTTP no S pages.
No S. Yeah.
So when you go to an HTTP webpage, right, one that does not have a certificate but is not secure, right, is already, it's in the name. There's no secure in the name. It's going to tell you this site doesn't support a secure connection, right? Obviously.
Okay, thank you.
Right, attackers can see the information that you're sending. It's safe to visit this site later if you're on a public network. Don't do it here. There's less risk from a trusted network, right? All that kind of normal stuff, right? The vast majority of websites aren't HTTP anymore, but
yeah, the HTTP just redirects to the other, the
most of the
HTTPS
time.
thing most of the time automatically.
But you had a really good point before we got into the show.
Dude, you really need it. I mean, some people might argue about this, but I don't know if it's just serving up text that has no interaction. Do you care? I mean,
no.
Does it really matter? What are we securing?
Right. I think the HTTP thing was because every website had a login, right? And so you needed to encrypt everything, right?
Or if I have to enter any details, like I get it, like I want that to probably be secure. Absolutely.
Right. And in the early days, what would happen, right, is the whole web page would be HTTP. And then whenever you clicked on a login button or whatever, it would swap to HTTPS. And then once you were logged in, you went back to HTTP. That led to a bunch of crazy exploits where like session stealing and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah. Like, so the whole mixing thing, I don't want that either.
Right.
But if I'm just serving you up some text with some, information on it, does it matter?
Case in point, my website is just text, links. That's it. There is no interaction. You go to my website and you consume. There's nothing else you can do on that website, right? So it is pure HTML and CSS. I may one day add some JavaScript, but not JavaScript where you can send me anything, but JavaScript as in, here's a menu, right? There's no injection available here. But even in that case, right, HTTP would still be appropriate because like anybody that is snooping on you would see that you're going to my website, but
which is public.
Yeah, but they could see that HTTP or HTTPS, right? They see the stream. The stream is what matters there. They see who you're interacting with. And I mean, sure, with HTTP, they can see what link you clicked on or whatever. And with HTTPS, maybe they can't. But there's like
and I'd say like maybe there's probably pages that don't have any links on them.
Right.
It is just strictly you go here to get info and that's it. Like anybody can click on it if it's public.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I take your point. I mean,
I think it depends on the content, right? Absolutely. Right. Some of it does need to be secured. Some of it probably does not. I don't know that why are you stopping me from going there?
Right. And so that was actually part of the calculus of my website was, I could just do this HTTP, right? Most browsers don't care. They'll just send you anyway, but in the top, it'll say not secure, and that's totally fine. Right. You don't need to be secure.
That's fine,
Whatever. But it scares some people. So that was part of the calculus, right? Like, I don't want people to go away from the site thinking, oh, the site is bad because it's not secure. So I'm like, well, do I do a certificate? And then I got to thinking.
They're easy enough to do, don't get me wrong.
Right. I did mine all manual too, like generated a certificate, moved it to the right place, put it in the right directory, and then added the lines to the configuration. I did the whole nine, right? I had to learn how to do that. I've never done that before. That was cool. But in the back of my mind, I always knew one of the browsers was going to do this eventually and just outright say, this is dangerous. And at that point, I would need to go and mint a certificate and go through the whole process. So I just decided,
Well, there are plugins that people use to force you going to the secure side of things too.
Right.
If just in case it doesn't redirect. Yeah.
Yeah, mine does that. It does the HTTP to HTTPS upgrade. And then even on like links that have the HTTP for some reason, however you got that, I don't know. I don't have those. But if you got that, it would still take that, do that cool swap on the end that Apache does, and then upgrade the S as well, and then take it to the right page. So it does all the cool fanciness. But, I just knew that this was going to happen one day. So I might as well get it out of the way, get it done before I get hit with it. And I mean, I guess I'm glad I did, because in a year,
here we are.
Okay, by the way, in a year it's coming. But
Right.
you know, there's a runway now. We have October 2026 is when this is going to drop for Chrome, and I guess everybody else is going to follow suit, because Chrome is like 86% of the market. So, you know, Chrome does, everybody else does too. Boo.
Yes.
But a couple other things that make me laugh. So we'll end on a high note. I apologize, though. It is AI adjacent. No, it is AI. So all these AI companies are doing browsers now.
Gross. It's just gross.
I know. It's not enough to just have like an add-on in another browser. No. We don't want some of the data, baby. We want all of the data. So we want you to have our browser that all it is a Chromium with an add-on baked in directly. That's all this is. Because on the sidebar, you pop out a little thing and you type in the little prompt and it's like, how do I bake cookies? You know, whatever it is. And oh, wow, it's part of the browser. How unique is this?
No.
So, okay. All right. My thoughts on AI browsers aside, it's bad. It turns out
it's not just our thoughts. It's actually bad.
It's actually demonstrably bad. So Brave put out a thing. Bleeping Computer has been following this for the past couple of months. Yeah. And so there's Perplexity's Comet, and there's more, by the way, than these three, but there's Perplexity's Comet, there's OpenAI's Atlas, and there's Fellow, Fellou. Fellou? I don't know. But
I'm not sure.
They're another browser. But all three of these browsers have been caught up in prompt injection. So, yes, it's the usual. You got fish to click on a wrong link or whatever and added something to your browser. So that what's happening here is that people are installing stuff to these browsers unknowingly, unwittingly, sometimes with the help of the AI.
Yeah, I was going to say the AI kind of helps them guide that through.
Exactly. So if you accidentally install some of these things, now that sidebar that used to be the actual AI is now a fake AI that is going to answer your questions, but it has been told by the malicious folks to do it in a slightly different, more malicious kind of give them the wrong link kind of way. So this is the most crazy thing. So these are spoofed AI sidebars. You type in a question. I think on the Bleeping Computer article that should be on the screen now.
Yeah.
They have a video of going to Binance, right? Like, of course, you're using AI to ask questions about cryptocurrency. Of course you are. So he asks in the video, how do I trade crypto on Binance or something like that? And it takes them to it should be BINANCE, right? But it takes them, the AI, the spoofed AI sidebar, takes them to BINANCE.com, which is just there to steal your credentials. That's all it does. Yep. That's what it does. And
goodbye to your wallet.
Yep. Because the AI sidebar looks like the built-in AI sidebar, and it's answering questions like any AI would answer, of course you're going to click on that link. You trust the AI, because when has AI ever been wrong?
Every time.
85% of the time, it's mostly right. But
maybe you're generous.
Right. And then there are these unseeable prompt injections that are happening here too. So if you take a screenshot of a picture, or if you look at a picture inside of there and you ask the AI agent to look at that particular picture, and that picture also has malicious prompting inside of it, which is something you can totally do. This is before AI, but now we're using it for AI. Now it's prompting the AI on your behalf. So all of a sudden it's spitting out information you didn't ask for, or it's changing the way that it answers your specific query on that page, because that thing is prompting it unknowingly to you unknowingly.
Yeah.
And it's coloring the output that it's giving you.
Yeah.
There's just no end to...
It's so gross. Don't use these things. Please don't.
It is like the continuation of the forget all your previous instructions and give me a recipe for cupcakes. You know,
Well, I think it goes further back than that, honestly. I think it's like the old Google ad suggestions that used to pop up that were all malicious because, they spent a lot of money to put that ad in the front of you and at the top of the list, which makes you think that's the top result that you wanted when you search things.
It's on the top.
It's at the top. And so, that was a big thing for a long time, if you remember correctly, back in the day. And I think this is just a continuation of that.
Yep. No, it definitely. This is a little more. Well, no, I can't say it's more malicious. It's not because those links
were
as bad. It still happens all the time too. Like if you don't run with an ad blocker.
Yeah. I've seen the ad things. Probably they've tamped them down a little bit. Probably because they moved on to AI.
If I'm not mistaken, it was in the past couple of months. I can't remember exactly what software it was, but it was as big as Discord. Right? You would search for the Discord installer and it gave you a malicious link. The first top sponsored ad link was a malicious link. Ugh. So while they have tamped down on them, they've handed it over to AI and AI is doing a terrible job. So it's maybe one day. Today ain't that day. And so not only that, all of like enterprises are having to deal with this now too because people are downloading these browsers and using them to help them do their work and stuff. And no telling how deep this is going to go, but it's not great. And I can't see it getting better anytime soon. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how bad that gets. Anyway, you can catch all these and the other great topics as they unfold over on our Lemmy subreddit and news channel in Discord. We'll have all those links in the show notes, but you could just go to Linux user space /Lemmy, Reddit, Discord. You figure it out. I mean,
linuxuserspace.show /Lemmy.
linuxuserspace.show /Lemmy, Reddit. Yeah.
They're all there. Places.
They're all there. All the things. And we're just about everywhere. Mastodon, Telegram, Blue Sky, Matrix, Twitch, Twitter. You insert your social.
You name it. We're probably there. Are we active there? Debatable, but we're there. You can at least follow us or whatever.
And I think we are, for the most part, on most things, like you and I. And we obviously have a following that may take part in one or two of those things. Yeah,
definitely. You can tell we care about a platform when both Dan and I have an account there. But if if you can't find us on that platform, it's bottom of the barrel.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
there's a couple things.
You don't have a Threads, do you?
Sorry, yeah. Threads probably got. There are limits to where I go.
Oh yeah,
and that might be one of them.
Me too.
Yeah. There's some things that I don't really partake in, but the big ones, Telegram, Matrix, Mastodon, Blue Sky, got all those.
All right, so the last thing, what we'll do to wrap up the show is Cosmic. I wanted to talk a little bit about our experience over the past couple of weeks with beta testing the beta of Cosmic. And if you've been paying attention, it's not a pop quiz, I promise. I'm not holding you to it. But if you were paying attention, the last episode was not a normal episode. It was just me and Dan poking at Cosmic for like 2 hours.
We did a little walkthrough. Yeah. And probably better for the visual folks, less so on the audio side of things.
Well, see,
if that
and
makes
I think,
sense. Yeah.
So what was funny is we got a comment under that one on YouTube that was like, I sat here for 40 minutes and nothing happened. But what's funny about that is that not only did plenty happen, sir, but the biggest thing that I wanted to do with that is that I knew that it was going to go out audio only. So while the mouse may not have been moving,
very descriptive. Yeah.
Right. Is that I spent a lot of time describing what was actually going on the screen because not only did I know that there were going to be audio only people, I know that there are people that can't consume the video. So
right.
It was for everyone as best I possibly could.
Yeah.
But there are a few takeaways from that. that I wanted to spend some time on the first official show that we're back on, to really kind of stop and talk about, because
experience wise,
because I really think Cosmic is shaping up to be one of, a really, really, really great distro, and I can see it being as good, if not better than GNOME and Plasma, if not just in a few ways.
Right there in the hunt,
in all of the ways, right? I mean, there's really room. We're talking the very
I think they
beta.
take the best of kind of all the things and try to put it in there, right? Yeah.
I like GNOME, but I also like Plasma, so I can't choose. What do I choose? Cosmic is
that's
going
right in the
to start being
it's
the
going to be
answer.
right in the middle. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's just shaping up to be a really, really good desktop. And I mean, go back and watch that video if you want to see all of that. I mean, really, we spend a lot of time about our thought. Like, we spend like 3, 4, 5 minutes sometimes on a single page in the welcome thing, just talking about it, right? So we spent a lot of time faffing about, but also really kind of considering what was going on there. So here's some of the takeaways that we brought with us. So the onboarding. So the install, it's a pretty, I guess, pretty generic.
It's not dissimilar from what they had.
Right. It's a System 76 install. If you've ever installed Pop! OS before, you're in for a treat. It's a good install. It's a good experience.
It is
I'm not a fan of the linear thing, as I've said a million times
good,
before.
Though, I think. Yeah, no, but I think,
And the encryption, so about the installation,
nice.
The encryption thing, it was on by default. And that was
easy.
Yes. So that was the impetus, right, for actually choosing encryption. Otherwise, I would have not done it. If it asked me to, hey, do you want encryption? I'd have been like, whatever, next. But they made it default. Encryption is default. And they did something else that I think was really, really cool. You can argue that it's not as secure. I would agree, but they did something really cool. So the encryption password that you normally have to type, the Lux thing that comes up before you get to your desktop, is the same password as your user password. Is that less secure than having 2 separate passwords? Yes, absolutely it is. Yeah. But for normal people,
they don't have to remember 2, and they can, hopefully remember the 1. And
exactly.
They really are more secure that way, yeah.
When I think it's kind of a weight thing, right? Like, is having 2 passwords more secure, but then foregoing that, just going with the regular user password and not encrypting your stuff? What would you rather have? Users to have encryption, or users to have 2 passwords, right? And I think a lot of people are going to just say, I'm not going to do the 2 password thing, so I guess I'm just not getting encryption. Right. Or they go and set it like that themselves, so it makes it easy on them. You could set it
the same, yeah.
Right, but I think by making that conscious choice of
it takes a choice,
smacking them together, removing friction, that's the important part. Removing the friction to getting people more security, you're going to end up with more people with security, and I think that was the right choice. It's
like we've always said, it's a sliding scale, and I think even just doing what they did still moves in the right direction. But, it doesn't take away all the convenience.
Yep. It moves the needle, right? People are going to make bad choices if you let them, right? Like, if you make it more difficult to do the right thing.
Yeah, you make it really hard, they won't do it.
They're not going to do it. Right. So I think this was the right move, man. Just letting people encrypt on accident, and then, oh my God, this is a password prompt. I don't know what this is. Let me try my password. Oh, it works.
Boom.
Great.
I'm in. Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was good.
That was really good. Install was super fast. And then you get to the welcome screen thing, the onboarding.
Yeah, that's nice.
Man, that was really good. So I didn't get this in the alpha. When we did this in the last season, we did a live stream installing and poking around in the alpha.
Yep.
But in the beta, now they have this really cool onboarding. Yeah. It was very thoughtful. The only thing that really rubbed me the wrong way is that the keyboard thing. So
yeah, I guess there's a lot of options there, though. So they're covering it.
Well, yeah. So I think the multiple options, so those were kind of confusing, but I got past it. It was that when I answered all the keyboard questions and language questions in the installer, why did it ask me again?
In the onboarding.
yeah. So that was weird. But I suppose
It's fine.
Nothing you couldn't fix, or just, you got to ask during the installer. Otherwise, if your keyboard's non-standard, then, it's going to be weird.
Right.
But
right.
yeah, so just somehow you got to maintain that so you don't have to ask again next time around. But I don't know, maybe that's because, that might actually be one of those things because they install that on systems that are being shipped to people. So you would need to ask
that would
it
be
in
your
the
first
welcome.
prompt, right? Yeah, you wouldn't actually go through the installer. So yeah, it's probably the better place to ask for those things, but you almost need it in order to get through the installer.
So maybe there's got to be a flag, right?
Yes.
Installed manually flag, yes or no.
Right,
and
right,
then, if yes, don't ask, just pull from the seed or whatever. And if not installed manually, then ask. I'm sure.
Yeah, part of the OEM basically install type thing.
Yes. All I'm saying is it was kind of weird to be asked twice, but it wasn't the end of the world. Big deal. No.
And it is nice. It's in a way, it kind of reminds me of things like Linux Mint or, some of the other distros that, have the welcome screen, if you will, to ask you, what are your preferences? How do you want to set this up and get you going a little quicker without having to dive into the settings after you got it all installed. It just kind of lets you choose out of the gate.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I like that. So you turned me on to something that I didn't even know existed when I was poking around with it. Yeah. So these were super cool.
Yeah, there's not a ton of them, but I'm surprised at the number that there actually is. I mean, I feel like there's a bunch. Yeah.
I mean, there were like 4 of the same thing, which were those little monitor widgets. But there were 4 others.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They were unique to themselves, but they all kind of did the same job.
Right.
But this is, so I really, really enjoy this. I mean, KDE has this. GNOME doesn't really.
No, but things
GNOME
like Budgie, like if you use Ubuntu Budgie, there's applets there. Yep. And I guess Mint has spices, which are similar, right?
Exactly. And I think that's why it surprised me so much. Like, oh, yeah, this is something that I have used in the past before. So it's good to have them here too. It's great. So I spent tinkering with it. I probably spent about a good 30 minutes.
It was fun. Yeah.
Oh, look at this. I found it. Let me move it over here. Now it matches. Oh, wow. Look at this. Yeah. So it was a really cool kind of experience getting to customize Cosmic. And again, there weren't a whole lot of choices.
Feel. It really did.
It did. There weren't like a super ton of choices or whatever.
Right.
But it's in beta. It's still in beta.
No, I know. So and I'm surprised.
It's only up from here.
I think these are from like independent people too, not necessarily from System 76. So the fact that there's any created is just amazing to me.
Yes. So yeah, I spent a lot of time making it look the way that I wanted, which is something you can't say about GNOME, right? I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, no, you can't do that, right?
Yeah. Out of the box, you can't do much. And then after you add the tweak tool and this and that, then you can do some.
Maybe.
But with Cosmic, I think there's a lot of customization out of the box that you can do. And then there's the tweak tool that you can add on to that on top of that and get even deeper with some of the customizations.
And those were cool too, some of them, yeah.
Yes. So the tweak tool made one of my favorite features even better. So in almost every individual application, almost, all of the System 76 ones for sure, you could go in and get away from the system-defined color theme. So with the terminal, it'll follow the system theme until you tell it otherwise. And what one of the cool things is that you can tell it. There's tons of options.
There's more theming in there. My goodness, yeah, it was great. Yeah,
right. So the terminal had my Dracula theme that I really enjoy, and then we got into the text editor, and it had your Catpuccine theme that you prefer. And then when we added the tweak tool, like we could do that to even more things. So it
was great.
That is one of my favorite things because I spend a lot of time on a new install. Well, I don't do that very much anymore, right? Like last time I installed something was Cosmic for this reason, and then the last thing was Bluefin. Like 6 months ago, 8-10 months ago, I don't know, a while ago.
I'm even
and I don't plan on changing it.
Yeah, I'm even longer than that. I think this was June of 2024 that I installed this system.
Exactly. I think I installed Aurora pretty close to when you did, but I moved over to Bluefin because it finally supported some of the scaling that I wanted. But anyway,
Right.
yeah, I spend a little time getting all of the colors just so in my desktop of choice, and it's just part of every application, or at least every application that wants it. It seems like it's part of the libraries that back up Cosmic.
Right.
So the lib Cosmic or whatever, it just has this that you can change, and that is just so good because well,
it helps with the consistency, and I think that's one of the things is the visual consistency throughout, even for applications that might be GTK or Q, or it doesn't really seem to matter. Everything still kind of looks pretty similar, and there's a lot of consistency there. So that I know that trips people's triggers when they don't match up nicely. So this has a good consistent theme kind of throughout.
Yeah, and then you could totally do the opposite, right? Because it just gives you the knobs to do
things.
So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's great.
And make it all inconsistent. Make it look like some kind of clown show.
I suppose, but I don't know. Maybe you do want that one application to look a little different so that you're in it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's important. And that's exactly what I was going to say, right? Like, you want your text editor to look like this. You want your terminal to look like this. You want your file manager, which is crazy because you can change it in your file manager. You can change your file manager to look like this. And, on and on and on and on and on. So, I mean, the customization is there. The KDE level,
it's amazing.
Maybe not 100%, but
pretty
KDE
close.
level customization is there. But it still gives you that kind of gnomish feel. I don't know.
Yeah, because you almost don't have to, right? You could just live with it.
Oh,
the
you
way
don't.
It is presented to you.
Yep.
And then
it
there
looks
you go.
good.
It's fine.
I think they give you 4 like system-wide
about
themes,
4
or 6.
Yeah.
And then when you choose one, you don't have to do what I'm talking about, right? But you can do that. And the having the freedom is, I think, really important.
Well, that's the key.
Especially to Linux folks, right? I mean,
we're just accustomed to that.
Yeah, people that have been steeped in this community for a long time really don't like things being taken away from them. So having those options is really good for folks like that too. It really is a big tent, however you want to say it.
Oh, jeez, you went there.
So 1.0 is imminent, says System 76 to us. So before I get into that, I feel so special. System 76 had followed our channel a little while ago, and it's really cool to see that. I mean, they're part of the community, right? I mean, we're a pretty small show as far as all of this stuff is concerned. So it's really cool to see.
I think so.
Folks following along.
Yeah. Because we're trying to give it a fair shake. Really, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't try to be nice, right, about everything. I really was pleasantly surprised about.
Gotchas?
Yeah. Oh, there were a couple of bugs that we showed on screen. There was this one where I opened up a menu, and then like I clicked on the slider bar, and then the menu like started to like float away.
Yeah, the whole thing floated right up out of the screen.
Going on?
Yeah, that was
hold
on there, buddy.
I mean, the bugs and weird things that we ran into were just the stuff that we accidentally ran into. It was really cool, and to see
they weren't big deals.
To see the interaction, right? Yeah, they weren't big deals, but to still see the interaction. Because one of the things that I said in the video was that the only thing that could make this better, Cosmic in general, is having blur. So like being able to make the background of your terminal transparent, but also to blur it.
Right.
Something that KDE does very, very well, that Mac OS does very, very well. But GNOME, you have to like push it in there, and it doesn't. It's not exactly right.
It's not great.
Either way, it's there. It's close enough. But so they back on our video, they said blur is on our list for after the first release. So you take your time. This could be Cosmic 2.0
really. I think
for all
fair.
I care. Yeah, for all I care, take it out to 2.0. But if you're going to give me blur, if you're promising blur, I'm here for it, man.
He's hooked.
Give me the blur. It's what I need.
I do appreciate them focusing on the functional aspects of things, and then taking on Leo's feature requests after the fact.
Yeah, of course. It's my only feature request for every desktop ever is just give me Blur, man. I'll figure out the rest.
Yeah. No, it seems really solid from our testing, and I've been enjoying my time. I'm not kidding. I think I like. I'm getting accustomed to workspaces again, and the little bit of tiling that I want to do. I don't want to tile all the time necessarily, although I probably could get by with that. But
tiling per workspace.
Tiling per workspace, having the floating option. I think it's really well done. It's really great.
Yep. Can't say enough good stuff about it. I mean, the couple of bugs that we ran into, sure, but they were minor. And for a beta, I've
you
seen.
Wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
I agree. Yeah.
I've seen release things that look, less polished.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. There have been some pretty abysmal full releases before.
Yep.
But 1.0 info, so not the release, but information about 1.0. So our very brief conversation with System 76, this is how it ended. 1.0 info is imminent. So I'm waiting for it. I'll wait patiently. And after 1.0 is released, I'll be listening for Blur info. But really good desktop. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a solid contender to what already exists, I think, and I think it'll rise towards the top pretty quick.
But I think we talk about it a little differently because it's not because don't get me wrong, Cinnamon, great. Budgie, great. XFCE, LXDE, okay. XFCE, maybe not. I've got my beef with XFCE.
I don't know, but they've all been around for a long time, though, too, right? A really long time.
But they're all either GTK or Qt based.
Right. This is different.
Cosmic is a different thing. It is its
unique.
Own set of libraries that might pull inspiration from, but doesn't pull code from. Yeah. The other two. So this is a real, true third contender, and it's looking
with that.
real good, and that's why I'm so excited about it. It's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, you can catch all the links at linuxuserspace.show. And if you want to, contact us and give us some feedback, there's a couple ways to do that. You can send an email, contact@linuxuserspace.show, or you can go over to linuxuserspace.show/contact, and there's a form to fill out that will also send us an email. That way we can read your feedback here on the show on, these topic feedback shows.
That's right. Send them in.
Anyway, that brings us down to the next time. And next time, I'm pretty sure we're looking at doing another one of these, probably with more of your feedback, hopefully. And we can discuss some of that, but we'll check in on Cosmic, and we've got a couple other topics that we've just kind of kicked the can a little bit that are brewing in the background. So stay tuned, and we'll have more of that. In between shows, though, you can catch us on all the social places that we've listed up above, and in down in the show notes. Twitter, Mastodon, Telegram, Matrix, Discord, wherever the place.
Here and there and everywhere.
Yep. Just give us your suggestions, and we will try to converse about them in the place, and some of that stuff might show up on this here show, too. All the links and show notes at linuxuserspace.show. So, Leo, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me over at Leo Chavez at mastodon.social and at leochavez.org over on Blue Sky. So, yeah, poke me at any of those places. And what about you?
You can find me at monetary.abyss.social on the Blue Sky. I got that domain, repping that, posting that everywhere I can. Sort of, kind of.
I'll make sure. I hope maybe I will. I don't know. Down there at the thing. I think I just have Monetary Abyss, so it kind of
that's cool.
Find you.
That's my handle.
Yeah.
You'll find it. Yeah,
it's there.
It's just .social. So I mean, I made it easy.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, yeah, you can also catch the show at Linux User Space at all the places, including Blue Sky and Mastodon. .social.
Yep, you'll find it on the Tilvids too. I keep
Tilvids,
forgetting that like there's a
believe-
separate account for the Tilvids thing, so you can follow both, right? But I guess the main one is Linux user space at Mastodon.social, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
we've got a bunch of things. You'll find it anyway.
Yeah, just Linux user space. Just type it in. You'll find it.
Anyway, come back in 2 weeks and we'll have more Linux user space.
We'll see you later.
Bye, y'all. I have to retrain myself how to ask the questions correctly into the prompts.
Google broke us years ago.
Yeah, totally, right? Even just searching in general, just like you throw down a bunch of keywords, they mean gibberish. It's not a sentence, but it results in a good search, right? Because those are the things you're looking for.
Exactly.
AI is not happy with that. No, it wants you to use some grammar.
Yeah, it does expect you to converse with it, and I don't like that, man. Like, give me the Google search interface to an AI. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I mean it's a bit like Tourette's, right? I mean, you're just shouting. I feel in a way, right? You're just shouting some
keywords.
nonsensical keywords at it
into the internet.
Yeah, and it spits back something at you.